Today I am here to talk about the status and scope of floriculture. Floriculture is a subset of horticulture concerned with the commercial cultivation, marketing and arrangement of flowers, as well as decorative plants such as trees, shrubs, climbers and herbaceous perennials. These plants can be annuals, biennials or perennials. Cut flowers, potted plants, cut foliage, dry flowers or leaves, seeds, bulbs, tubers and dried cuttings are the principal products of the floriculture industry. Flowers represent love, passion, beauty and purity. These silent beauties of nature, such as lotus, successfully communicate feelings of purity, while rose depicts love, the pansy stands for ideas. Practically every stage of human affairs, including birth, marriage, worship and death, flowers have a specific place. In addition to flowers, various decorative plants are crucial for the environmental planning of both urban and rural areas, such as for the development of wastelands and for combating pollution. One significant feature of floriculture is that it provides a means of creating profitable jobs for women, young people living in rural and peri-urban areas. Floriculture is emerging as a cutting-edge, multidisciplinary field of science. Floriculture scientists have made significant contributions to the field's advancement in both science and business. The floriculture industry is rapidly growing and very competitive. The most lucrative industry in the world now is commercial floriculture. India has a long culture of cultivating flowers. Apart from the perfect climate, soil and other natural resources, as well as relatively inexpensive labor, it should come as no surprise that India, with its long history of using flowers for various purposes, is becoming a major hub for floriculture. Numerous references of flowers denoting their significance can be found in mythology and Puranic literature. Indian flowers have been involved in social life since ancient times, as evidenced by ancient literature. They are utilized for a variety of functions, such as decorations for important occasions, presenting flowers to God, and making perfumes. Recently, there has been a noticeable surge in the popularity of gardening as a commercial good with significant export potential. There are two types of flowers: cut flowers and loose flowers. Cut flowers. Cut flowers are fresh flowers that are harvested in singles, spikes or clusters, along with their stems such as gladiolus, rose, carnation, African daisy, tuberose and orchid. European countries export a significant amount of cut flowers. In India, West Bengal leads the country in the production of cut flowers, which could be explained by the fact that celebrations, marriages, formal events and other special occasions are driving demand for cut flowers, as they are mostly used for decorative purposes as well as gifts, bouquets for formal events. So, talking about the loose flowers. These loose flowers are used to make gajras, garlands, and are typically picked without a stem, such as chrysanthemums, jasmine, blanket flower, marigold, and chrysandra. In India, Tamil Nadu leads the country in the production of loose flowers, which might be explained by women's fondness for certain hairstyles. Floriculture also involves cut greens, also known as cut foliage, leaves and stems, that are in high demand and survive a long time. Their form, color and freshness are all enticing. These are used as fillers in floral arrangements and other places to offer visual interest along with cut flowers. In India, opening a plant and flower nursery is another expanding floriculture enterprise. Potted plants are sold by nurseries to individuals for use as garden and home decor. The Indian government has designated the flower business as a sunrise sector and given it full export-oriented status. Due to consistent rise in flower consumption, floriculture has grown to be one of the major agricultural commercial industries. As a result, commercial floriculture has become a high-tech industry that operates in greenhouses with regulated climates. India's floral industry is thought to be one with strong growth potential. The retail flower market in India is projected to be over $400 million, whereas the international flower market in India is worth roughly $100 million. About $30 million worth of flowers are exported, are mostly dried flowers and roses. As a result, from an artistic, social, environmental and financial perspective, the floriculture sector is expanding into a highly significant alternative. Due to rising demand for floricultural products brought on by rising living standards and a growing public awareness of the need to live in an environmental friendly surroundings, it has become a viable agribusiness in recent years. India's flower power is expanding as the nation is now the world's second largest flower grower behind China. Flower production is one of the fastest growing crop trends in agriculture. The country offers a vast opportunity for the commercial cultivation of a variety of flowers and decorative plants. Due to its diversified yet hospitable agroclimatic conditions, the majority of the global floriculture industry is focused on exports, and it is expanding at a rate of 15% annually. The production of potted plants for ornamental purposes is the next most significant sector after cut flowers. However, just a few types of flowers such as roses, gladiolus, chrysanthemums, jasmine, and orchids are exported from India. Although flower growers are still mostly driven by exports, domestic flower demand is growing at an exponential rate, particularly in metropolises and large cities that account for a significant portion of the flower market. At production level, this industry has a number of difficulties, most of which are connected to the availability of labor, appropriate irrigation, and basic supplies. The first online flower auction facility launched by Karuturi Floritech Limited began operations in March 2000. It is the nation's first digital flower auction center, operated by Karnataka Agro-Industrial Corporation at Hebal. In 2019, the Indian floriculture market was valued at 188.7 billion Indian rupees. The market is expected to increase at a compound annual growth rate of 19.8% from 2020 to 2025, reaching 557.9 billion INR. India's total cultivated area for flowers climbed for 306,000 hectares in 2016 to 2017 to 324,000 hectares in 2017 to 2018, then slightly decreasing to 313,000 hectares in 2018 to 2019. Overall, the total amount of flowers produced increased from 2,392,000 tons in 2016 to 2017 to 2,866,000 tons in 2018 to 2019. Additionally, from 2016 to 2019, there was a gradual increase in the production of loose flowers and a slight decrease in the production of cut flowers from 2017 to 2018, which shows that India's production of loose flowers is far ahead than that of cut flowers. The roses generated substantially more revenue than marigold and mixed flowers, which came second and third respectively. In India, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, and West Bengal are the top states for producing loose flowers. Tamil Nadu is still the leading state in the production of loose flowers with 4.29 lakh tons produced in 2017 to 2018. With 34,227 hectares dedicated to flower cultivation, Tamil Nadu comes in third place in terms of area. Tamil Nadu is known for growing roses, chrysanthemums, tuberose, jasmine, marigold. The states that produce the most cut flowers are Assam, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and Karnataka. With 29,000 hectares of land used for flower production, West Bengal is one of the top states in India for cut flowers. In 2017 to 2018, it produced 204.5 thousand tons of cut flowers and 74.9 thousand tons of loose flowers. The West Bengal state government has designated North Bengal as an export zone for vegetables and flowers, offering full assistance for the growth of floriculture. In contrast, West Bengal's production of 208.82 tons in 2018 to 2019 was eclipsed by Chhattisgarh, which produced 2.81 thousand tons of cut flowers in 2018-2019, up from 93.54 tons in 2016 to 2017. The floriculture in J&K has tremendously increased, which is evident from the increase in area from 255 hectares in 2015 to 2016 against only 18 hectares in 1996. Both open field and greenhouse cultivation are part of the J&K flower industry. The floral industry is expanding both in the modern and traditional senses at the same time. However, open field floriculture is more significant since it's more widespread in the state in terms of both area and output. It's also gradually transitioning to greenhouse cultivation, which uses a variety of modern techniques. The state is rich in natural resources such as soil, water, diverse topography, favorable climate, and abundant natural flora that enable the growth of a broad variety of flowers. In India, cut flowers are grown under controlled climatic circumstances through high-tech floriculture, which is becoming more significant from an export perspective, whereas loose flowers are primarily farmed in open fields. Roses, carnations, chrysanthemums, gladiolus, gypsophila, orchids, anthurium, and lilies are the main crops in the cut flower trade. Marigold, jasmine, chrysanthemums, roses, blanket flowers, crocendra, and tuberose are the main open field loose flower crops. Marigold is cultivated as a loose flower throughout the nation, covering an area of 64.65 thousand hectares, which is almost a 40% share. It's followed by rose, 29.57 thousand hectares, which is a 17.3% share. Jasmine, 25.53 thousand hectares, which is a 15% share. Chrysanthemum, 20.55 thousand hectares, which is a 12% share. Tuberose, 14.92 thousand hectares, which is a 8.7% share. And Gladiolus, 10.44 thousand hectares, which is a 6.1% share. In perfumery, essential oils are frequently employed. Important flower crops for the extraction of essential oils are marigold, daffodil, rose, jasmine, tuberose, and vanilla. Indonesia, Brazil, China, USA, Egypt, India, Mexico, Guatemala are the top manufacturers of essential oils. The USA, which accounts for 40%, Western Europe, which accounts for 30%, and Japan, which accounts for 7%, are the top 3 countries that purchase essential oils. The demand of these products is growing globally at a rate of 7 to 9% annually, and this presents a unique opportunity for the large-scale cultivation of crops that produce essential oils and their processing through the use of both traditional and cutting-edge techniques such as vacuum distillation, solvent extraction, and liquid CO2. Aromatherapists and natural medicinal practitioners are also big users of rose oil. The olfactory nerve transmits the aroma of essential oils to the parts of the brain that might affect the mood and hormone levels. Oils are absorbed through the skin during a bath or massage and then transported by body fluids to the major systems of the body, including the muscular and the neurological systems, where they have a restorative impact. For a mellow, blended effect and a scent, pure essential oils are blended. The medicinal impact and aromatic quality of individual essential oils are balanced through expert blending. Certain flower crops are abundant in medicinal chemicals such as vincristine, derived from Catharanthus roseus, which is used in the treatment of cancer. Similarly, vitamin C is extracted from rose hips and sold under the name rosehip vitamin C. The term nutraceutical combines the terms pharmaceutical and nutrition, therefore offering advantages for both health and medicine. Anthocyanins, carotenoids, and betalains are among the many naturally occurring pigments found in flowers that have the potential to be used as nutraceuticals. Products such as rose tea, which is made from rose hips and petals, include chemicals and vitamins that may help reduce stomach issues including diarrhea and bladder infections. Rose petals can be used to stop bleeding since they contain tannins and astringent. In addition to roses, calendula and marigold flowers are abundant sources of lutein, which prevents blindness. So now we are going to talk about an outline of the world's floriculture commerce. According to international statistics, Flowers and Plants 2011, approximately 560,000 hectares of land were used for the flower cultivation across various nations in the world. Of these, 52,000 hectares were in Europe, 18,500 hectares in North America, 360,000 hectares in Asia and Pacific, 4,100 hectares in the Middle East and Africa, and 1 lakh hectares in Central and South America. 78,948 hectares of flowers are produced in controlled greenhouses through several nations worldwide. Ornamental crop farming is practiced in over 145 nations worldwide, and the area dedicated to this crop type is continuously expanding. The global demand for floral items has led to a considerable growth in the production of flower harvests. which has in turn led to an expanding of international flower trade. By the end of 2020, the anticipated global consumption of floricultural products was expected to reach between 120 to 160 billion US dollars. 60% of global trade is made up of cut flowers, the remaining comprises of live plants, cut foliage, dried flowers, etc. The Netherlands has been at the center of the world's cut flower trade for more than 200 years. 40% of flowers worldwide are imported and subsequently re-exported through the Royal Flora Holland, the Ellesmere auction house. However, more recent members in the flower sector are becoming noticeable and changing the production dynamics. Depending on the season and trends, a vast array of flower species and variations are traded all year long. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day are the high seasons with enormous volumes needed at destination marketplaces. As a major participant, the Netherlands contributed 43.8% of all exports to other countries in 2018. Colombia, Germany, Italy, Ecuador and Kenya came next. The global revenue from floriculture is projected to 43.2 billion US dollars, registering an annual growth of 7% in 2019, according to Future Market Insights 2019. Cut flowers are the most popular product category, with a 79% market share. They have significantly overtaken the rose segment in terms of popularity and are predicted to reach 24 billion US dollars by 2023. Pot plants, which can comprise either foliage or blooming plants, make up the second significant category. The majority of pot plants are grown and consumed in the Netherlands, as well as in Germany, Denmark, Italy and Spain, which are nearby. The poinsettia is the most traded blooming pot plant worldwide, with the United States accounting for 80% of commerce. Comparably, among the foliage plants, kalanchoe is the most traded commodity. India ranks in the top 20 with contributing 0.6% share in global floriculture trade. In terms of value, the floriculture industry in India is expanding by almost 7% a year. India's hills provide more possibilities for decorative crop cultivation because of their diverse climate, special needs, and long-standing customs of resource management. The primary products of the Indian floriculture sector are cut greens, loose flowers, and nursery supplies, which include annual seeds, foliage propagation materials, and landscaping plants. India is the country with the largest area dedicated to floriculture crops, but modern production in greenhouses and exportation from the nation are yet in their infancy. The main causes of this poor performance are a lack of appropriate and suitable infrastructure and a lack of technical expertise. Also, a lack of export and sales promotion initiatives. India has more opportunities in the flower trade than its Asian competitors because of its location relative to important flower importing nations. India benefits from the harsh winters in major flower producing European countries, particularly in regions like Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, Nasik and Northeast, which have year-round temperate temperatures. According to Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, APEDA, estimates there are currently approximately 349 export-oriented units in India that are in charge of developing and promoting exports of flowers, with 50% of these units being in the states of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. The quality of service and delivery systems are important factors in the consumer-driven industry. Cut flowers must be promptly transported via a cold chain, which is made up of a number of refrigerated locations on farms, in trucks, airplanes and boats. This process puts the flowers in a dormant state, ensuring their freshness. Cut flowers have a very short shelf life and are highly perishable goods. Therefore, the secret to overcoming this difficulty is to have quick, easy and effective logistics and processes to maintain quality throughout transportation and guarantee vast life and value at the destination. Cold chain integrity and temperature control are essential. Produce quality, planting material availability and production productivity aspects should all receive equal consideration in order to support the floriculture industry. At the middle and lower levels, shaping the expansion will demand high-skilled labor, which calls for training and development. Infrastructure and post-harvest management mechanisms must be built. Standardizing on-shelf management procedures and research to concentrate on reducing input costs and enhancing low-cost indigenous solutions is necessary. Altogether, floriculture is increasing young employment, profit margins and income levels in India. It is also encouraging women's participation and boosting exports. In comparison to other crops, it also increases farmers' livelihoods, and the trend in the average unit price realized from export shows that floriculture produce commands greater prices than fresh fruits and vegetables. Therefore, in order to take advantages of these prospects, more work needs to be done to support protected cultivation. This work includes precision farming, value addition, and the development of an integrated cold chain for flowers, as well as lowering the goods and services tax on polyhouses and warehouses from 18% to 5% in India. Plans should be made and put into action to participate in international trade shows, host market promotion campaigns, and establish integrated flower auction centers with processing facilities that serve as one-stop shop for the arrival, processing, and sale of fresh flowers as well as value-added product processing. Floriculture exports can be increased to a greater extent through the implementation of large-scale projects with financial support, the identification of economically viable export-oriented production technologies in private player clusters, the development of fresh flower packaging standards, and the provision of refrigerated vans and dedicated transport for transportation. From a societal standpoint, floriculture makes people's life more beautiful, better mental health, and more opportunity for leisure and cultural pursuits. Floriculture contributes to biodiversity and conservation in the environment. The growth of flowers and other plants promotes the preservation of open spaces and the raising of native and threatened species. Furthermore, by the use of photosynthesis, floriculture lowers the carbon dioxide levels and lessens the consequences of climate change. People are becoming more aware of the benefits of parks, gardens, and open space for relaxation, stress relief, leisure, and clean air, as nearly all large cities grow quickly to accommodate the world's growing population. At the same time, the jungle is changing and the cement concrete is being used. To address these issues, bioaesthetic planning, which is closely related to municipal planning, is necessary. A flower garden in a country yard is a significant aspect of daily living in the modern world. The cultivation of a broad variety of flowering plants, including both native and exotic species, supports a variety of pollinators, birds, and other creatures that depend on particular plants for food and habitat. So, adding to the overall plant biodiversity in the area, a large number of cultivated Flowers for floriculture are used by bees, butterflies and other pollinators as sources of nectar and pollen. Plant species that are uncommon or endangered are frequently cultivated in flora. Floriculture helps with genetic preservation by increasing the number of plants and preserving them, which supports attempts to conserve biodiversity. The public's understanding and enjoyment of plant diversity, ecosystems and the value of biodiversity conservation are all improved by floriculture. With this, we conclude